few years ago when the primary narrative around the trailer for the first Sonic was the universal disapproval of the design for the title character. But the primary takeaway should be the fact that Paramount Pictures and director Jeff Fowler listened, making the unprecedented move of redesigning the character from the ground up, which not only added $5 million to the budget but 5 months to the workload. That level of audience awareness set the tone for the crowd-pleasing nature of this series, with the first grossing $320 million on a $90 million budget, and the second improving on the first with a $405 million gross. The third Sonic film brings out the introduction of antagonist Shadow, a hedgehog with a striking resemblance to Sonic, who seeks to destroy the planet. Add a double dose of Jim Carrey, who plays both Ivor and Gerald Robotnik, and you've got yourself a hell of a crowd pleaser movie. If I'm being completely honest, a blend between live action and animation doesn't tend to work for me. Just look at the live action Tom and Jerry movie, but don't look for too long, your eyes might begin to hurt. Not only are the two mediums incredibly cohesive here, there are especially a handful of great shots during the action sequences, one which especially reminded me of a shot from Man of Steel. I can't help but think it was a little intentional, but the characters only work as well as they do on the screen thanks to the stellar cast, both the live action actors and the voice cast. This is Ben Schwartz's third outing as Sonic, and he brings a lot of heart to the character. Keanu Reeves' over-the-top line delivery doesn't tend to work for me in live action, but it feels at home with the theatricality of an animated role, delivering a menacing performance as Shadow. And when the movie asks you to feel for him, it works because, well, it's Keanu Reeves. Idris Elba is great as Knuckles. Is it a stunt casting like almost every other voice role in these movies? Yeah, sorta. But what can I say? He just works in the role. The same praise can be directed toward the live-action cast, with James Marsden having a role as Tom Wachowski. Seriously, put this guy in more stuff. I am ready for a James Marsden revival. But whether we're discussing the live-action actors or the voice cast, this is undoubtedly Jim Carrey's movie. As both Robotniks, he reminds you why he's on another comedic league as an actor. He throws his entire body into every role, facial expressions and all. Plus, there's something about dual actor roles that just blow my mind technologically. There's such a strong emphasis on his characters that I leaned over to my brother and told him I pretty much feel like Carrey is the lead actor of the movie, and I was only half joking. For a quote-unquote kids movie, the humor works surprisingly well, and not in a 5-year-old would probably find this funny sort of way, but in an I myself find these jokes genuinely funny. I was surprised by how much the comedy was visually and physically great. There's also a pop culture reference to a 2011 superhero movie that genuinely got a laugh out of me, and an unexpected reference to a Keanu Reeves movie. As expected for an all-ages family movie, the themes here are incredibly on the nose, and the idea of an antagonist who's a mirror image of the protagonist is far from original. But I'm a sucker for these stories that allow you to peer into an alternate reality of how our protagonist could have turned out if things went just a little different for them. It invites us to have an even greater appreciation of the hero's virtuous qualities, an appreciation for the people who raised them and made them who they are. In terms of a genuine issue I had with this movie, it has to be the pacing. Like other blockbusters such as The Force Awakens or Spider-Man Homecoming, this movie's pace does not relent. For the vast majority of this movie, it makes it a fun ride, but the pace does end up weighing on the third act. At that point, the movie is barely giving you a moment to catch your breath and reflect on anything that happened, which leaves it feeling repetitive and one-dimensional at a certain point. With that said, the first 2 acts of this movie are incredibly strong, and I'm more than eager for a Sonic the Hedgehog 4, especially if they can get Jim Carrey to return, because he really is this movie's non-secret weapon. I don't think anyone expected to be saying this years ago, but at 88%, I'm pretty sure Sonic the Hedgehog 3 is the highest rated film adaptation of a video game, and quite frankly, I think it's deserved. These movies just seem to understand the audience really well on delivering what the people want. I'm giving this one an 8 out of 10. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for weekly TV and movie reviews. And if you've had the chance to watch Sonic the Hedgehog 3, let us know what you thought about it in the comments below. I'm Cinemike, and I'll see you next time.